Our adventure begins with Zelda and Link exploring far below Hyrule Castle around 6 years after Breath of the Wild because of the gloom that was seeping from the depths, and we begin looking at ancient statues and murals, eventually coming across Ganondorf. But the power restraining him suddenly failed. Ganondorf awakens and unleashes his power towards Zelda. I step in defending her, but the power starts consuming the Master Sword, which is the strongest sword in existence, but apparently not, and burning my arm beyond repair. Upon round 2, the Master Sword shatters to shards, unable to handle Ganondorf's power, and only barely cutting him, healing it instantly right after. Ganondorf uses his power to make Hyrule Castle fly like a floating island, and looked so cool doing so, then just dipped. I look away for less than 10 seconds, and Zelda somehow finds a way to fall down. And even though my arm just got burned, I still go to save her, only to narrowly miss. Then she disappears into a gold light, and the hand that had been holding Ganondorf down, but failed, saves me. When I was waking up, the mechanical hand merged itself onto my damaged arm and hand. As I woke up in a cave I didn't recognize, I suddenly hear a voice that is speaking through the arm, talking about how it knew Zelda, and knew I was injured as if it had eyes and could see me, explaining my arm was beyond repair, so that's why he gave the new one. But hey, I found my very damaged Master Sword. That is now basically useless. After some traversing I found a chest with some pants I could put on, so I wouldn't only be in boxers because the hand stole all my clothes. Then dove off a platform, landing in the water, took a stick off the ground and beat a robot to death with it. I found a much nicer robot, and it gave me something it called a Pora pad, which is a knockoff Sheikah slate. With my new pad, I arrived at somewhere called the Temple of Time. I tried getting entry in, but it declined me. In my shock, I didn't hear someone called Roru, but he introduced himself and explained the arm was not powerful enough to open the door anymore, and I had to restore its power. So he sent me off to complete shrines which would help restore its power. After Roru despawned, I walked towards the shrine without much trouble. Upon walking into the shrine, find Roru, who gives me a new power called Ultra Hand, which allows me to pick up any item to move, rotate and fuse together, then be used through the world. Roru then explains we would need to explore 2 more shrines for more powers, so I go to do the second out of 3. Within my second shrine, Roru gives me my next ability called Fuse. Fuse allows you to attach items and objects to weapons, shields, and arrows. Sometimes if you attach the right thing to an arrow. For example, when I just added a fire fruit to the arrow, it made it a fire arrow. And right off to my third shrine, meeting Roru again, he gives me my third ability, named Ascend. Ascend lets me ascend through objects, but back to the Temple of Time for now. And it finally lets me in, where I find and touch this big seed. Upon touching it, I awaken in a dream world with Zelda, who, after abandoning me after I saved her, asks for my hand. And the little simp I am, take it. She gives me some kind of power, then abandons me again. The new power is called Rewind, and Roru explains it lets me turn back time on items. After getting Rewind, I try open this door, but fail as I lack the strength to do so, and Roru gives me the ability to teleport and sends me off to get my 4th shrine. With what I then got from the shrines, I upgraded my permanent hearts to 4 to get the strength to open the door. Right at the end of the main Sky Island, I found a glowing pedestal where I took my broken Master Sword and offered it to the pedestal, where Zelda somehow received it and took it for herself and didn't give it back. But before I could ravel in shock, a dragon I never saw before suddenly shot from the clouds. After that shock, I could finally leave the Sky Islands and arrived at a place called Lookout Landing soon after and met someone named Pora. She sends me to Hyrule Castle, where I see Zelda, but she flies away and disappears again. Upon returning to Pora, she sends me towards 4 different phenomena across the map shown here. First, of course, is Rito Town, where I find a Rito named Tulin who seems to remember me when I do not remember him at all from Breath of the Wild, so it was kinda awkward. After Tulin flies away, his parents named Teba, and Saki explains Tulin is a not very smart Rito as he believes in children's songs, but that I should go find Tulin to further investigate. Climbing a mountain, I find Tulin and help him get his bow back that he lost. After getting his bow back, me and Tulin begin our embark on a quest to the top of the region to investigate. Right after, me and Tulin started ascending again, eventually stumbling onto a giant ship in the sky, which turned out to be a massive temple. Unlocking all the temple altars unleashed a boss that was the least annoying of the optional main bosses in my opinion. Boss was defeated and another seed spawns, but Tulin touches it. Then he makes me listen to this ancient old bird from thousands of years ago. Also he can give me his power to use without him. Thankfully, we don't need to deal with Tulin's annoying voice lines anymore though, and still got his useful flight power. Secondly, off to Goron City, where I beat Yunobo effortlessly, and we go to the top of the volcano, finding a monster which didn't stand a chance against my plane. Dived into the depths and got to the most annoying temple in the game, which is basically a mess of tracks that hurts your brain to unlock the 5 locks, unveiling another easy boss which once again was way too easy for my liking. Just for another cutscene with a prehistoric pile of rocks this time. Just for Yunobo's useless ability. But hey, I don't need to listen to his whining anymore. After the mess at Death Mountain, was trying to go to Korok Forest but couldn't get in, so tried getting in through the depths which worked. But Korok Forest seemed corrupted by the malice, which luckily I fixed by killing the Gloom Hands and mini-boss Phantom Ganon, where the Deku Tree informed me where the Master Sword is, and that it was moving somehow. Following the marker, I saw the dragon from earlier and mounted its back, which somehow had the Master Sword, which I tried stealing to see a cutscene of Zelda, which was kinda weird, but I got it. Right to Zora's domain for the third, because I hate the Gerudo region. Finding a statue covered in sludge, I washed it away in order to find Prince Sidon, who is very overrated as a character. Sidon sends me off to meet someone called Jato, where I fix a slate for him in a small cave, and find the Zora King hiding in a sanctum where he gives me 5 King Scales, what I use to shoot through this hoop marking an area. Sidon creates a whirlpool, so I can get down and reach the ancient Zora waterworks and the platform in the middle, which unlocks a new waterfall. I can swim up, taking me to an island high above. The water temple wasn't as bad as the fire temple, but it was still worse than the wind temple. Only the 4 locks needed to unlock the boss, which was more annoying than hard in any way. Running from me every time I tried fighting it for yet again another boring dream of some fish for Satan's power that I can use elsewhere. Arriving at Gerudo Town in the desert, which is the worst area in the game by the way. Like I hate the sand and how it slows me down, and the heat that kills you along with the cold that changes every 10 minutes, making you change outfits all the time. It's so annoying. Using a sewer system underneath Gerudo Town, I ascend into their hidden base and meet their commander, who makes me defend and beat monsters for them, only to be sent off to do more things for them. That took way too long in my opinion. Breaking a pod open, it broke out a big monster who I destroyed, and he ran away instead of finishing the fight. Lightning Temple was god-awful too, so I'ma skip until the boss, which was also way too easy. Just for, you guessed it, another useless power. After I returned back, I found Puma who told me to go into the castle to find Zelda who kept running from me. Oh wait, it wasn't Zelda, just some monster, which I destroyed easily. And only then did my useless backup show up, who immediately leave after, forcing me back to Lookout Landing, telling me to find the next temple, which I gracefully do. And yeah, I'm just gonna skip it in the video because we are getting bored of this with its puzzles and bosses. Then flashback stuff. All to arrive at Hyrule Castle, delve to the depths, fight a mob of enemies, then meet Ganon expecting a challenge, but nah. He went down easy against my bow and dragon. Didn't last much longer. Overall peak world building and lore, but the main gameplay is easy to cheese and story is mid. I know it's been like 5 months since my last video, but I'm going to try post every other week until then. Saya.